Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Functional Minecraft Village. In the first episode, we made a blacksmith. In the second episode, we made the enchantment room. And in the third episode, we made the brewing room. Each one has its own style. The first one, the blacksmith, keeping the same color palette and block colors of the vanilla village, you know, the cobblestone and the oak, but just changing some up to be stairs and adding some details to them and just making it look a little bit more interesting. The second one, the enchantment room, we done more of a Tudor design by just changing up the blocks in the building itself without changing the size or shape of the building. We sort of got a completely different effect. What is going on here? There was a thunderstorm a minute ago and lightning struck. I bet it set fire to the logs. Wow, that's crazy. That literally just happened like before I started recording. Anyway, and the third one, on the brewing room, we done a more modern suburban look. And everybody has liked pretty much all of the designs, which has been great to hear. Obviously, you wouldn't make a village like I have here with a mix of all of the designs. You would choose one and use that formula on all of the buildings, and they would all match in and look absolutely beautiful. Today is a little bit different because we're going to be doing the farms. Now, in my opinion, the farms always have looked fantastic. I don't know why I like them so much. All it is some dirt with some logs around it. But for some reason, that design has always stood strong to me. No matter what theme you're trying to build in, it just always works. So I don't want to change it up too much this episode. I'm just going to show you some additions that you could potentially do to these farms to maybe just improve the look of it a little bit. The first one is nice and simple. All we need is some fences. Just going to grab some oak fence. Or I'm going to choose oak fence, but you can choose whatever fence is really going to suit your theme the best. If you were doing a Tudor theme, I would recommend using a darker fence, but it doesn't really matter. By the way, I'm sure these villagers have a crush on me because they keep throwing bread at me. And I'm sorry guys, but I'm not going to breed with you. That's for you to work out on your own. Don't get me involved with that. So what you're going to do is just put 3 fences on each corner, like so. And then on the 4th layer, boop, you're going to do the whole top of it being fenced. Now, this is such a subtle change. Some of you might go, AJ, that's so simple. Why did you even show us it? I'll tell you why I showed you it. Because it looks absolutely fantastic. It's such a simple little change that I think would look pretty cool if the farms actually came with this as standard. Like if you could randomly, because there's like 2 different farms in my mind that you can have. You can have the single farms or the double farms. They're like the 2 separate ones that spawn, and what is growing in each farm is random, isn't it? But this could be the 3rd type that spawns, one like this, and it just looks great. It looks like a sunshade, you know, for the sun. It also looks like what are they called? You know, like little sprinklers that, you know, sprinkle the crops to make them grow faster. Obviously, it doesn't do that, but it just looks really fantastic. It doesn't kill the crops either. You know, it's still got sunlight because these are transparent blocks, so, you know, it's still going to keep the crops from growing and not just destroy them. And I just think it looks fantastic. So here's one of the options that you can do. You can also add a little bit more to this if you want to, grabbing some leaves or some shears if you're in survival and going from there. And we're going to add some leaves over the top that then drape down the side here. And boy, does this look so nice. Like that. I like to do just like a couple of little drop downs, some further away than others. And it makes it look almost like, I've seen it referred to as a bit of a vinery, where, you know, grapes grow to make wine. And it just adds another extra sort of layer of character. It looks good when you're close up, it looks good when you're far away, and makes it more of a structure rather than a little bit of a sort of flat field. You know, it makes it a little bit more interesting and super simple. Just leaves and fences will give you either the fence or the one with the leaves on top as well. Now the next one is a little bit more complicated. We're going to be using a little bit of redstone in this to somewhat automate the growing of the crops, whatever crops they are. Now, there's no way in Minecraft to automatically plant crops, apart from villagers. They automatically plant crops, but you can't fire seeds out of a dispenser and make them plant. You can only make them grow by firing bone meal. out of a dispenser. So all we can do is harvest these plants. Now, this doesn't work 100%. There's some huge problems with it. For one, it's not going to be the most efficient farm in the world. I'm going to be doing it in a very simple, basic, starter-like design. If you want an efficient wheat farm or an efficient, any crop farm, then I'll have some other videos on them. Other people have videos on them. This is just something that keeps the shape, the rough shape of our vanilla farm, but just adds a little bit more functionality to it. So, first off, you're going to need some slabs. I'm going to keep with oak slabs to keep the sort of look of the vanilla colours, the vanilla colour palettes here. And you're going to run it around all the outside. And this is going to keep the water from washing over the edge. We're going to want to have the water push all of our crops towards the front. You're also going to want to put slabs over the middle of this water, and the reason why you're going to do this is I'll show you. If we get some dispensers, not droppers, if you use droppers, the droppers will just fire out the bucket of water instead of the contents of the water. But we're going to have these four, like, I knew you'd be in the way, like that. I'll put you back because I'm nice. And if I get a water bucket and I get a button, if I put the bucket of water in here, for example, and for the moment just activate it with a button, as you can see, the water just shoots straight to the middle here. Now, the way to fix that is by covering up the water with these slabs, and that's why we have this here. Now, if I hit the button, oops, the water floods all the way down to the end, which is exactly how we like. That villager is freaking out. He's like, please let me plant. Go on, you can get on there. You can go and plant them again if you like. He's like, you've ruined my farm. He's freaking out. Alright. So yeah, that is going to then hold our water. I'm going to take that out for the moment. And we can activate all four of these dispensers to make the water push the crops to the front. It's not going to be that helpful. It's not going to be that efficient. It's just a beginner farm. Something that people that aren't too good on with redstone can just do to practice with it, really. Now, we'll grab a block just for this first setup. You can do something simple like this and just have the redstone going along here. And then have a button on the back here if you like. This would be the most simple setup you could do. Putting a button on here, hitting the button, and pow, all of these dispensers would fire. If I put a potato in here, he just took the potato, but it did fire out. Boink. You see? So that'll power all four of these dispensers. But the only trouble with this is if we have water in it, oh no, I better not. The villager will grind me up, I'm sure. If I push the button, it'll release the water, but it won't suck the water back up again. You'd have to press the button again in order for it to suck the water up. Now, if you don't find that much of a problem or much of a hassle, then sure, you can just leave it like this, or use a different block, not diorite, something that blends in a little bit more, and it'll be fine. However, there's a lot of people, including myself, that like to hide the redstone up a little bit more. For some reason, nobody likes to see redstone being visible. So we can go and hide the redstone up underneath this farm, and also do the next step for it. To do this, we're going to need some redstone torches in order to get this, the redstone to the dispensers in a little bit of a thinner fashion. So I'm going to put these torches here, and I'm going to dig down and I'm going to put torches underneath those torches. And then what we're going to do is cover up the ground here, and I'm going to extend the farm by one block to hide up those torches and put these slabs above it. So it's like nothing's ever there, was it? It's like it doesn't exist. Then what I can do is drop down underneath it. Oh yeah, I'm in a super flat world, so we've got bedrock down at a certain distance, and you're going to dig over to where your torches were. One here, and one here, and one there. And then you're going to have to dig out a considerable amount of dirt down here, because we're going to be doing some very rudimentary, very messy, could be made a lot neater redstone down here. This would not be your permanent setup. This would not be the way you would do it if you were doing it in a proper way. It's just something that's going to work. Okay, so we're going to need some repeaters now. And again, you could do the press the button twice situation by just putting 4 repeaters going into those blocks and then having your button input I mean, where would you want it? In the middle here? Oops. Button. It doesn't matter wooden or stone. It's not going to really make too much of a difference. I know a wooden one lasts longer than a... Is that the one? I can't remember. I know a wooden button lasts longer than a stone one. But, yeah, I'm not really that bothered about that. So what I need to do is find exactly... That's the one. That's the one that I need. Woo! Don't do that. Be careful when... Be careful when doing that, apparently. We'll put the redstone back again. What a mistake. I need to get the redstone down from this button here. So I'm just going to do something. Oh, I don't think I can use... Can you put redstone on path blocks? I've never tried. Put your redstone on there and here. And then we can just run it down the side. And boom. We end up with the ability... Let's put something in here so we can see it shoot out. Oops, that didn't go in. There we go. We should see dirt come out of that one. Boop. You saw it fly out. And then if you had water in there, you'd have to push the button again for the water to get sucked up. But how do we turn it on and off within one button push? Well, we're going to just add some repeaters to it. You could do more efficient ways with hopper clocks and all that kind of stuff. Again, I'm just doing a rudimentary setup. Nothing crazy here. So, let's... I should have really gone the other way, which I'm going to change now. So I'm going to have the redstone go up here instead, just so it gives me a little bit more room. We're going to place a repeater here, and I'm going to replace a repeater here. Now this repeater is what's going to extend the pulse, so we activate the dispenser once, and then we're going to activate it again, all within the same button push. It's just going to delay the signal. This repeater is important so we don't end up locking the system on. Otherwise, if I had it something like this, when I hit the button, I had a delay on here. I hit the button, the redstone will go through, activate the dispensers once, it would come through here, activate the dispensers twice, and then come back around and just stay on all the time, and then the system would be locked. To stop that, we have this repeater here, so then the signal can't go all the way around and back again, because obviously redstone can't go through a repeater backwards. But this is not enough delay. We can do some testing now. If I put this water bucket in here, and I push the button, it fires the water out, which is great, but it doesn't suck it back in again. You have to still push the button for it to stop that. That's because we don't have enough delay. Now, you actually need a surprising amount of repeaters in order to do this, which is why a hopper clock would be better. But I'm just doing it simply. So we're going to add a bunch of repeaters to this for the moment. I don't know exactly how many I need. I mean, let's just try that. We'll give it a go. I don't think that's enough, but we'll give it a go. If I hit the button now, it fires the water, but still doesn't... Oh, and retracts it. Beautiful. So there we go. So now it released the water and sucked it back up all in the same go. 1, 2, 3. We'll put one in here, put one in there, and put one in there. And now this will make the water come straight at us instead of at a little bit of a weird angle. Boom. And then... undoes. Now, as you can see, it's not very efficient. We ended up with some seeds and potatoes on the side here, which means you'd have to then go around and collect these ones up by hand or whatever. You can increase that by maybe making this wall taller, so it's less likely that the seeds and the potatoes are going to be able to jump up that high. I should just do a quick test with some seeds here. Oh, well, I know it makes it a little bit more efficient. However, I also know that it still will go up. There will be still some that jump on top of the wall here. If I show you, you watch. They'll all come straight towards me now, I bet. Yeah, they did. Okay, that actually made it a little bit more efficient, but, however, there is still the chance that they end up going up onto the edges of these. It also wrecks the design a little bit in my mind. Maybe swapping these to stairs on the outside could look cool. It would maybe give a little bit more... Oops. A little bit of that detail, you know, keep that detail a slight amount, but no, I like having the slabs and just have it be a little bit less efficient. Now, the next step is we could hopefully have hoppers at the end of here to collect up our crops. However, I tested this just a moment ago. And I don't know if it's a bug with I'm currently in 1.11.2 or if something's just wrong. But if I put, and we need some chests. Yeah, you go and plant again. I'm sorry, guys. I keep wrecking your farm, don't you? Don't I? If we put, for the moment, just a chest here for testing purposes, there and there, and we put these hoppers going into the chest. Now, you would think, we'll let him finish, saves me planting them. You would think that the water would bust up all these seeds and push them into the hoppers, right? I would think so too. That would make so much sense. However, on my test previous, all of the seeds stopped on the edge of the hopper. And it wasn't because the water had run out of juice, you know, it couldn't push them any further. The water was on top of the hoppers. But for some reason, it wouldn't go in. It was like the hitbox for the hoppers were too tall. Again, it might be a bug with this version of Minecraft. But, yeah, look. See those potatoes? And those seeds? They hit the edge and then stopped. If I do the water again... Oh, he picked it. Really? Really? Get out of here. I'm trying to show people stuff. There. I'll plant them myself. There we go. So if we do it again, these are now normal seeds. But look, that bang, that hit that and stopped. So did that one. If I hit the button again, the water will not wash those any further. It might be a visual glitch and they're not actually here and they're actually sitting on the slabs. It could be that. It could be a bug just with this version of Minecraft that they're not getting pushed into that hopper. But there's no reason why they shouldn't do that. No reason whatsoever. We'll let him go back up there. Go on then, go and fix your crops. And we can do the same thing on this side. Chests. And hoppers. And that'll collect up some of them. I mean, how many did we get in there? We got 3 potatoes and 3 seeds. But most of them, and I will say, I will admit, it was over 50%, over probably 70%, ended up getting stuck on the edge of these hoppers. I cannot do anything about that. I'm sure it's not meant to be like that. I'm sure that's a bug. Because I've done these kinds of farms before and they've worked 100% fine. What about if we tried, just out of curiosity, I didn't try this in testing when I pre-built these earlier, but what if I move these chests down by 1, fix that because that's annoying me, and then put these hoppers down here instead. Let's fix that for the guy as well. And put that down there. Now when the water comes off the edge, I'll put these on top of here for the moment as well, so the water doesn't flood everywhere and knock the button off. We'll just let him finish. I'll help you out. I'll help you out, guy. There we go. Maybe now the water will come off the edge and force everything to go in. If the seeds now get stuck on the edge of the ground, we know there's a real problem going on. Okay, no, that worked a lot better. Maybe that's the way you should do it then. Dropping them down to the side. I didn't try that in testing, but it certainly seems to help out a little bit more. Can I put a hopper where that redstone is and not wreck the redstone? I don't know. Does a hopper break redstone? I've never thought about it. No, obviously not. Oh, well, that's good to know. Trap door, maybe. Well, I suppose you could leave the chest too. No, you need to have something on here to stop the water from flooding out everywhere. So I could do that and that. I can still access the chests, and when I hit this button... Well, yeah, that happens. But now the water doesn't flood out towards me, does it? And I can still access all this stuff. Wonderful. Okay, I think that's the design that I would probably go for. Weather, go away. I cleared it 3 times. One was before it even started. This is just a rainy seed, it seems. But yeah, this is certainly your third setup. First one with a fence. Second one, fence and leaves. Third one with a little bit of redstone involved. And you can extend the distance or the amount of time that the water stays on for if you wanted it to be on longer so the crops get to the hoppers more often. Then just put in more repeaters. The last design is going to utilize these double ones. Well, it's sort of going to utilize it. We're actually going to take one of them away. I'm going to use birchwood because it's a wood that we haven't used so far in this sort of mini-series. And you're going to replace wherever the crops are with your block of choice. What we're going to do is make almost like a stable look, in a way. It's sort of how you would begin a Minecraft stable. Oops. And put these here. I made some holes. like so. Then you're going to grab some logs. Now, depending on, again, what style of building you're doing. If you're doing Tudor, I would go with more darker oaks, like dark oak or spruce. But for me, I'm going to keep it very vanilla looking if I can with, you know what, if I go super vanilla, we'll make the floor cobblestone. And then it really does suit in with the vanilla village colour palette. I burped. Oh, I love the farm. So there's not much that I want to do with the farms, you see, which is why I'm keeping them as same as I can, because I just like them. But you're going to go with 3 blocks on the back, 4 blocks on the front. You're then going to get some slabs. Again, this is going to depend, what slab you use is going to depend on what theme you're doing. I'm doing, you know, the vanilla theme, so I'm going to stick with very vanilla style blocks. And I'm going to have 2 on this top one, 3 here, 3 here, and then 1 behind. We're going to thicken this up like this and put these over the edge. Run it down the other way. There, that one, this one, like this. I'm just doing the same on this side as what I've done on the other side. Here, here, like that. And then join up the middle ones. If I was doing it in the Tudor design, in the Tudor style, I would certainly use probably spruce, I think, for the top here. I wouldn't use dark oak. Maybe that would be a little bit too dark. I could be wrong, but I would probably go with spruce, to be honest. If you were doing the modern design, the more suburban design, I would do something with smooth stone slabs, because they're a lot cleaner looking block. Alright, now I'm going to grab some cobblestone walls to go, throw my hoe to go around the side here, along these 3 sides. Oh yeah, also I forgot with this redstone one, oh no, because I got the front open on this design, the villagers can still get up. If you were doing the closed design where you had the logs here and the slabs on top of both of them, the villager can't get in, so make sure you put some stairs or, you know, some blocks or something like that, you know, in order for the villager to be able to get up. But if you're doing this design with the open front, they can obviously still get on there. Alright, once we've got those around, lighting. I don't like torches on the interior of buildings, but I don't mind them on this kind of sort of barn style. So we're going to grab some torches, and I'm going to put the torches here, no, here, and here. And probably on the inside here as well, on those 2. You can leave it like that, or if you wanted to add a little bit of extra detail, you could do an item frame and a slab. I like the cobblestone slabs for this. And put those in there, and it looks like the torch is sort of being held to the wall with a little bit of a stone clamp. Only if you've got the resources. It's just like a little extra detail you can put in. Oops. Then we get some fences, and I'm going to put the fences, oops, here, here, there, and there. It just looks like a little bit of bracing. I could even extend those along if we wanted to, and have these looking like it's holding the roof of the barn up. You can still walk in there. Inside, we're going to go some hay bales. Obviously, suits the theme of this farm very well. And make a cluster and try and get them so they're all facing different directions. Get a really interesting shape, something like that. It's like a large cluster, and I'm going to have a small cluster over here, like that. All of them are facing as many different ways as I can possibly do. We're then going to get some chests. This is where you're going to keep your hoe. And your seeds in here. Seeds. 1, 2. Oops, 2, 3. Something like that. Oh no, I forgot the seed. 4. There we go. There. 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 And here. And you'd have your hoe in there as well, wouldn't you, for your seeds? You can then have your collected resources, like your trap chest, to put them next to each other, sorry. Wheat and potatoes and stuff I would keep in the chest next to it. Like normal, I always like to have a crafting table in every single room. I forgot to put it down in the brewing room, was it last episode? But I do have, yeah, crafting table and ender chest. I do now have actually both of them in there. Oh yeah, I removed the wall for the thumbnail as well. That's why the wall isn't there at the moment. But yeah. Ender chest and crafting table I like to have in everywhere. Now most of the time I put them in the ground, but seeing as though this is an outside structure, I think it'd be quite nice to just have it as an actual block and not sunk into the ground. I'm still going to have that there. And then the ender chest, I'm going to actually hide a little bit. I'm going to put it around in this corner here, just so it's a little bit less visible when you're looking at it. However, it is still there if you need it. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think there's really anything else that you would need to add. Ooh, that you would need to add to this. It's a nice. Hang on. It's a nice addition. Probably the most hard work out of all of the designs that we've done with this, but the most customizable as well. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this sort of stable-like design. A lot of different blocks you can go for to suit your theme. But using the same principle of, you know, the hay bales and stuff, it just works. It makes it all look like a bit of a unit. If you guys enjoyed this episode, hit that like button. I really do appreciate it, especially on a series such as this. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode. Bye!